Hello and welcome back to another episode of Well Played. I'm Caroline Hendershot.
And I'm Blake Morgan. We are recording from home today because of the massive blizzard that hit New York City and Hoboken, New Jersey.
Thank you for including me. Thank you.
Of course. I would never forget Jersey. I love her down, but...
The fifth borough. No, the sixth borough? How many?
I think
no,
six.
5 boroughs. There is
Yes,
the
the
sixth.
sixth.
Nailed it.
Good job, Caroline. The sky is blue today, though, and honestly, the snowstorm felt less bad than the last one in terms of like cleanup. And so I think like realistically, we probably could have made it to the studio today, but I will never say no to recording at my house.
No, yeah. And also, not for nothing, I think that last time the snowstorm, there was like frozen tundra vibes afterwards. So everything just became blocks of ice.
It was a tundra, you're right.
Which I'm just hoping that this is not the case. But I did hear that we're supposed to get more snow as the week goes on. So that's cool.
Millie's in love with the snow, I think.
She's actually thriving. I am not. But, you know, at least one of us is. I would just say that, like, my biggest complaint is I just don't want to go outside when it's this cold and snowy. And so, therefore, I'm forced to stay inside. And now the Olympics are over. And there's a 2-week gap in between the Olympics ending and the Paralympics beginning. And I'm like, what am I watching? I need something on TV.
We need Rex immediately.
Yeah,
if you have them,
this
is your responsibility. This is your homework. This is when you DM us the shows we need to watch right now, because I'm feeling similarly. It's like The Pit only comes out once a week.
Right, exactly. I was just about to say, like, here's the thing. I'm watching Summer House. I'm watching Traders. I'm watching all the reality shows, but like, it's only once a week. I need to be binging, you know?
Yeah. And I need a story to grip onto to get me through the winter.
Probably going to rewatch Heated Rivalry again.
For the 20th time now. But we're so excited because today we have a special guest, Brenda Song, guys. She was my idol. She was my everything as a child. I cannot believe that she agreed to join us on Well Played today, but we're so excited to talk to her about her sports fandom because, as you must know, she is a massive Lakers fan and she's a Rams fan and just all around supporter of women and men in sports. and exactly. She does know ball. She knows it so well. It scared me. I was like, we need an alt cast of her just calling NFL games.
Yeah, I love that, actually.
I would love that on ESPN. Going to pitch that after this episode wraps. So stay tuned for that. And she's going to talk a little bit about her new movie, Operation Taco Gary's. But yeah, if you're not listening on YouTube or Spotify, please go watch there, listen there. And also follow our Instagram at Well Played by the Skim, and follow Caroline at
CG Hendy, and follow Blake at
BLAAs4KZE. I almost forgot it. It's been I know. I know. Just felt like plugging today.
Yeah, you still got it.
We're going to start with the Olympics, though, because they did end. Spoiler alert.
Unfortunately, so. I was like, here's the thing. With the Olympics, I was legitimately getting up, well, because of Millie, at 7 a.m. And I was like locked in from like 7 a.m. on that I wasn't even watching like the replays on primetime at night because I was like, oh, I've already seen this.
I'm so anti primetime, which is really stupid of me. But like, I like feeling like I'm part of it. You know what I mean? Like that's the appeal to me, is to watch live. I didn't wake up that early though. I wanted to be that person. I'm not.
It wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice. It was not my choice.
It was my daughter.
Let's make sure. Correct.
All right. Well, we want to get into like a little medal count and just kind of recap.
Yes, I'd love to.
The 2026 Winter Olympics really were for the women, unsurprisingly. The United States left Italy with 33 medals, 12 gold, 12 silver, and 9 bronze. And the women were responsible for 6 of 12 individual gold medals, 8 actually if you count team events. And that actually, if you crunch the numbers, that is more than half of Team USA's gold medals. And women overall won 17 medals.
I saw something that said it was like 62, 63% that like of the US's medals were brought home by women.
Quick maths, Caroline.
Oh, please. We all know I didn't do the math. I just read that somewhere.
Absolutely. So there's a lot to talk about, but I want to talk first about the men and women's hockey games because they were freaking electric. They were pretty recent. And obviously both teams took home gold for the U.S. It was the first time that both of them took home gold at the same time. I watched the women's match, not the men's match, because I was moving this weekend and I don't have a TV stand. I have like a projector, but a couple, you know what I mean? I know. I feel like I have to qualify because it did feel like a bigger deal in the moment. And I feel like it has gotten to be a bigger deal, and we'll get into that why later. But you watched both, right?
Yeah, I watched both live because once again, I was addicted to the Olympics. But I think the funniest part was like, because the men's game was so early, all of these like New York and New Jersey, at least in our area, laws of like serving alcohol got like lifted temporarily. They were like, you know what? Usually we're not allowed to serve until like 11 a.m. or something. But you know what? Here we're lifting it. Go ahead. At 6 a.m. Go ahead.
That's so funny because on game days at Rutgers, not to derail us, but like the bars would open at 7 a.m.
Yeah, like I'm confused.
I don't know. Maybe it's just this, patriotism won this time.
Or neck of the woods, maybe. Yeah, exactly. But no, the stakes were so high because both the men's and women's gold medal matches were against Canada. And obviously, Canada, notorious for maple syrup and hockey. So it's their wheelhouse. We have to be like, okay, we're messing with the big dogs here. But they both went into overtime. They both ended 2-1. It was electric. And I don't know if you knew this, but the overtime being 3-on-3, like I don't think I had seen overtime in NHL game in long enough that I can remember that I was like, oh, it's like, this is crazy.
I absolutely didn't know that it was sudden death 3-on-3. So that was crazy as hell. Like this sport is no joke.
No. And you know what? I do like it though, rather than just like going straight from like, okay, the game ends, like let's go to a shootout kind. Like I like that they're still playing. That almost like higher stakes almost than a shootout to me. So I fully enjoyed the 3-on-3. But for the women's side, Hillary Knight forced the goal that brought the game into overtime, and it was actually tipped shot because the shot was originally by Laila Edwards.
Shout out.
And then overtime, Megan Keller was the one that got the game-winning gold medal sealing goal. And it was just like, well, I was like, both games, I was jumping and like Millie was scared. But like jumping and screaming because how excited I was.
I also let out, I was by myself and I was like, let's effing go. I'm trying to curse less. So I stopped myself from saying the F word.
I'm proud of you.
But I was by myself and I yelled that and I texted you and I was like, LFG, let's go.
Yeah. It was fun. It was so fun.
Yeah. And also this was the most watched women's hockey game on record with an average of 5.3 million viewers. And in overtime, that number actually jumped to 7.7 million. That is amazing. And I think a testament to like, I think just this past year especially, but I think even now with the Olympics, like we are going to see people tapping into women's hockey like no other, which I'm really excited about because we have a team here. Yeah.
And I just think too, like obviously like the PWHL has been growing. And so just kind of women's hockey has been getting a bigger spotlight. But I think too, like going into this game specifically, Canada and USA have faced off, I think 7 of the 8 times for a gold medal game since women's hockey has been introduced to the Olympics. So this is like very much so a rivalry. Some may say a heated rivalry.
You wish.
I know, right? I saw so many posts that were like, okay, now kiss after the game ends. And
what's the New York Magazine cover? I'm going to get it. I'm going to get my copy like this week.
Please.
I'm so excited.
Please. But no. And so I think going into that, it was just this talk of this is the strongest women's team we've had in so long. And Canada is always really strong. And of course, like these two countries, I feel like make up a lot of the PWHL. And so it's just kind of so exciting to see it on this big of a stage. It was amazing.
I also had a dream. Did I not text you about this? I forget. Maybe it was like when we were at the Super Bowl. I can't remember.
About one dream.
I had a dream that like we went ice skating because of the freaking winter like hockey. I swear to God. I was like, oh, it was so weird. I've been ice skating once in my entire life. And it was so much fun though. So I'm like, now we should go ice skating.
I don't think you told me about this dream.
What? I didn't?
No, I think you told me about a different dream, but I can't remember what that dream was about, but it was also crazy. Like you've been having a lot of dreams lately.
Yes, I have been. Heavy dream cycle. I know. It was also Hillary Knight's 5th and final Olympics, which sad.
Okay, yeah. Okay, wait. So this is the crazy thing because when Maria Taylor was interviewing her, they were like, she was asking her something along the lines of like, is this kind of ending? Are you going to finish your Olympic career like kind of on this note? She was like, we'll see. And everyone's like, it's her final Olympics. So I was like, she said we'll see. Like
I know.
I was like,
she's really sending us mixed signals, Hillary.
Yeah, which I'm okay with.
What is it? Maybe we should ask her and find out.
We should. But yeah, a lot of people are saying it's her final Olympics, which would be crazy because she set the record for most Olympic goals and points for Team USA's like women's hockey just group. And she had 15 career Olympic goals and 33 career points.
I can't even imagine like winning a gold and then also making that history. You know
When
what I
they
mean?
told her that in the post-game interview, she was like, what? Like, she was shocked. And I was like, yeah, that was just genuine. Like, she doesn't, I feel like it was just truly a testament of like, she's not focusing on that stuff.
Right.
So just like, I don't care, I want the gold
Like
medal.
only we care about the records. You know what I mean? Like nobody's like counting in their little
Yeah.
journal every night, you know? So everyone was happy to see her go home with gold, her new record, and also a fiance. Hello. She proposed to US Olympic speed skater Brittany Bowe the day before the gold medal match. What would you like to say?
I famously have not proposed, right? Okay, sure. So I don't know the
Get
nerves.
that out of the way.
I don't know the nerves that go into it, but from talking to Scott about our engagement, he was like, I blacked out. I don't remember what I said.
Mhm.
Like, this woman has ice in her freaking veins because the fact that she proposed, planned this whole thing because she obviously had to bring the ring with her, planned this whole thing, proposed, then played like the biggest game of, and potentially her last of her Olympic career. And I'm just like, the fact that you were able to like compartmentalize and do that, no, couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me. And it was such a cute little proposal. They also met at the Olympics in 2022, which
So
is
like
even
then I'm like, okay, I get it. Like you almost have to propose there because it's like, you know, it's like special to you. But then I'm like, I would be a wreck.
No, it's also so funny though because she not only has ice in her veins, but she also is like the queen of nonchalance because her teammates didn't even find out until they went on social media. Imagine being able to restrain that news. Couldn't be me.
No, that's why I could never like do well with a proposal because I can't keep a secret in my life.
Right.
I'd be like telling Scott, I have a present for you, but can't tell you what yet. You feel like, okay. Like,
Okay.
I am so bad at that. Okay, but did you also know that the coaches don't get medals?
I only found that out because the coach was crying because he was so happy and everyone's like, give this man a medal. And they're like, they don't get one.
I know. And I think he was talking to Hillary Knight afterwards, like in the somewhere where like someone was able to take a picture and post on Twitter and he was like, can I like hold your medal? And I was like, why don't they get medals? This is messed up.
I'm like really upset for them. They work hard too.
Everyone who's a part of like a staff team, whatever, in any kind of way gets a ring for the Super Bowl. So why don't you get a medal for the Olympics team?
We got a bone to pick with IOC.
I got a big old bone to pick.
Next Olympics is not going to happen. Not on our watch.
Yeah, no, I'm pissed.
I loved like there were some celebrities there. Specifically, the one that I loved seeing because I wasn't expecting this crossover was Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh my God, obsessed.
I truly didn't realize that Megan Thee Stallion was such a women's sports fan, but she really showed up for the women's hockey team because she sent them these really delicious looking, definitely expensive bottles of champagne to the women's hockey team after they won gold. I want to be them. I want to be a peer of Megan Thee Stallion. So she'll send me a little bottle of champagne too.
They were also like the gold Ace of Spades champagne bottle. So yes, definitely a pretty penny, but also gold because they won gold, you know?
Oh, duh. Yeah. Pricey. That's all I can think about is the price tag. I want to try really expensive champagne. Megan Thee Stallion also was serving looks in Milan. She was dressed like she looked like Jennifer Coolidge, which really means she looked like Monica Vitti because remember in White Lotus in Italy when she like has that headscarf on, like there was one picture of Megan Thee Stallion where she had that and she's in Italy. So I'm like, all I can hear in my head because it's like a vocal stem of mine is Jennifer Coolidge going, I feel like Monica Vitti. Is that good? I feel like Monica Vitti.
I don't know, because whenever I think of Jennifer Coolidge, I can only think of, it making me want a hot dog real bad. So, like, I can't help you there. But also, I will say, like, not even that outfit, just the outfit where she was, like, in all USA gear, I was like, girl, you are just perfect.
I want her stylist.
Yeah, I loved it. And also, honest, didn't she make a comment about Hillary Knight's engagement being, like, congrats, manifesting my own. And I was like,
what? I did not know that, but it's going to come this year. That's on my 2026 bingo card, Meg getting engaged to Clay. Yeah.
That's a good one.
She also took Laila Edwards out. First of all, I didn't know that Megan Thee Stallion has a YouTube channel. Like everyone's just getting YouTube channels all of a sudden. It was like a Netflix documentary produced. She and Laila Edwards went out to this Italian restaurant and they did like a food tasting and it was so freaking cute. And also Laila Edwards is so, just like modest and like her personality. She's like, I am the first Black woman to win a gold medal for Team USA. And I'm like, I would be screaming that from the motherfucking from the mother freaking rooftops. And even Megan's like, okay, we need to like cheer for that. And like, it was so cute. Like she was giving her flowers.
And like also she was saying, "Oh, I want to see you at the club later." And then she was like, "Wait, I'm not saying that because I'm going to get in trouble with your mom." Like, and then she was like, "I didn't say club, I said library." And we were like, "Okay." But I was just like, "Okay, it's like big sister energy." I
so cute.
I was
going to say I did not expect like Megan Thee Stallion to ride or die for this hockey team, which I love.
No, but I love it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, want to move over to the men's side?
Yes. So on the men's side, it was significant for a few reasons. The last time the U.S. men's team won a gold medal was in the 1980 Olympics it wasn't against the Soviet Union, but the big game was to get into the big win was against the Soviet Union to get into the gold medal game. So that was like what the whole movie Miracle is about, was kind of beating the Soviet Union in that, I guess it's the semifinal match to get into the gold medal round.
I see.
And so they hadn't won one since 1980. And obviously back in 1980, the Soviet Union was like the 4-time defending gold medal winner. And the US team was made up of like mostly young kind of amateur kids. And so it was like the craziest underdog story of all time. And of course there's like the famous Miracle speech and all of that. So it was a long time coming.
It's so wild because I feel like I associate hockey with like USA, Canada, and like, Russia, thankfully, because of like Ilya Rozanov, you know what I mean?
I was
so
just
it's
about to say because of Ilya.
It's wild to like think of them being kind of like chopped, you know?
Yeah, no,
for
totally.
me, as like somebody who's not as familiar with hockey.
Right.
Maybe for hockey fans, they don't feel that way, but.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably not, but that's okay. So the craziest part was that Team USA's 2 gold medal wins took place on exactly the same day, just 46 years apart, which is
that's spooky.
A wild coincidence. And Connor Hellebuck, their goalie, blocked 41 of the 42 shots. Okay, like genuinely, he should be MVP of the game because
he should.
He's MVP of the Olympics because the way that also the women's goalie should be MVP of the Olympics. These goalies were out of their minds. Like I feel like playing goalie is one of the harder positions, and you don't get a lot of grace because it's like, okay, you can stop as many, but if you let spin, like it's always going to be what's held against you. Obviously, it's literally the whole thing of the sport. But I'm like, some of the goals that he specifically kept out of the net, I was like, oh, this should be 4-1. Like this game was crazy in the way that they were getting outshot by Canada. It was nuts. So
also with those big ass pads, I'm sorry, like, you know, when like you have a big belly and you can't see your feet, like that's basically what I feel like I'm watching when I'm watching a freaking hockey goalkeeper, because how do you see past those pads?
Also, the hip mobility. Like,
I mean, we know about that.
No, oh my God. I'm like, my freaking groins hurt looking at you, and that's not even what you're probably using. Like, oh my God. So that was just a whole nother thing. But it was also Jack Hughes that scored the game-winning goal in overtime, and he did sacrifice some teeth for it. I liked the ESPN graphic that was like the picture of him with, I think he like chipped most of that one and then a little bit of his other big tooth. And it said it's not always like a chip on the shoulder or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, clever.
The chip on the ice, ew.
I was like, no, it's your chipped teeth, actually. Yeah. And then someone else said like, oh, you should get gold teeth to like fill in the chip. And I was like, that would be disgusting. So please don't do that. But he said that one of the first people that he actually thought of was Megan Keller, who was the overtime goal scorer for the women's side. So that was pretty cool.
Well, I'm glad he said that, because now people are really mad at men's hockey, you know, and he needed to say that to at least cover his ass before what ensued. So
yeah, not great.
Just to get into it, because I feel like we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
So people were obviously really hyped about men's hockey team winning until a video surfaced of their team on a phone call with President Trump after their game. He congratulated them, extended a personal invite to the White House to attend his State of the Union address. And then he joked about the U.S. women's hockey team, saying, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. I do believe I'd probably be impeached if the women's team wasn't invited. Most of the locker room started to laugh. Some of them did not, but, you know, some of them were praising the women's team.
Yeah, some were like saying like 2 for 2. Like you could hear someone saying like 2 for 2 in the background and like a couple guys cheering. But
right.
yeah.
But overall, I when I saw this video, I was so mad. And like, not a lot of things make me that mad. And, you know, politics aside, however you feel about Donald Trump is one thing, but it was just like all the goodwill they had just built up from winning gold for the USA, I feel like was just wiped away in that moment. It was so misogynistic.
Yeah, I think what is bothering me the most about this is just that, like, we're losing the plot. Like, this is the biggest distraction from what not only the women accomplished, but also like what they accomplished. And now we're getting like, this is what's in the news when it should be like how dominant the women's team was, how dominant the men's team was, like how like good USA did as a hockey program, and like what this means for the PWHL going forward, and what this means for the NHL going forward. Because we saw, again, sorry, my obsession, but we saw the uptick of like interest in hockey from heated rivalry. So it was like, okay, that was huge. And then with the women winning gold in the way that they did, like the PWHL was only bound to just kind of keep, and I do believe like it will still keep growing, but I'm just like, this is so annoying because you guys just worked your asses off. And I know that what you did was so hard and so demanding. And this is the story now.
Well, it just upset me because it's like, why are women always the butt of the joke? That's my question. Like, why is it that even when they compete to this extremely high level and pull off the win that they did, that we all know that they did, that these men hockey players know that they did because they claim to be supporting them all week long, like publicly, why is it that like they're just a joke to you? That was what I know that people are saying like not all men in the locker room were laughing. You know, the men's team was supporting the women's games. You know, they were there in the stands watching them, but it's like public support is so easy. The hard part and the part that is more important is standing up when you hear somebody say something that's really messed up, that is sexist, misogynistic. Like that is the actual part of like being, I don't even want to say an ally, but just being, like a supporter of like equity that's what I think is most important. And that's why I was so mad about it. Cause it's like, it was in private, you know?
Yeah. And also, like, not for nothing, sure, have there been moments where I have been like, haha, like awkwardly, like what the hell was just said, kind of like laughing along? Sure. But the fact that like someone recorded it and posted it, I was like, how dumb can we be? Like, I'm sorry. Well, once again, we come back to our point of like, were you not traumatized in childhood of like, don't post everything on the internet? Because like, why was that only targeted towards us? Like,
no, dead ass. And also, okay, I don't want to make it like a boys versus girl thing because like I'm never just trying to like one up men just for the sake of it. Like I'm never actually just trying to hate men, and I don't hate these men specifically, but like because they're making me do this. U.S. women's hockey has only played at the Olympics since 1998. That was the year I was born. That was 28 years ago. And within those 28 years, they have won 3 gold medals, 4 silver, and 1 bronze. Men's hockey has been this team has been playing since 1920. And they have won 2 gold medals, 8 silver, and 1 bronze. So, like, if you just look at those numbers, the women's team is running the numbers, doing the little girl math that I've been doing. It just seems like the women's team is more efficient, and like we should be celebrating them more. You're right, and instead of focusing on the story that literally, is a non-number.
Yeah, it's just frustrating that that's like.
But
now.
I guess all this to say too, for me, like what I'm taking away from it is like, okay, that was an ick. Don't talk about women like that. But also, it does make me want to support the PWHL more. So you will see my ass in the stands at a Sirens game this spring. And I'm so excited.
Yeah. And you know what? Like I think the kind of the greatest thing to come out of all of this. So the White House did officially invite the women's hockey team to join them, but they declined due to some scheduling issues. And then Flav was like, don't worry, I convinced them to come to Vegas, and they're saying yes. I'm like, Flav is like truly the biggest women's sports supporter that I know, and it's so hilarious how he just like pops up out of nowhere. Like he literally will disappear off the face of the earth, and then he'll pop up out of nowhere when it's
every
like
2 years.
Big women's sporting event, and he's like, I'm back, let's party.
And you know what? Thank God, because somebody needs to do it. Somebody needs to wine and dine these women. And you know who's going to do it? Flavor Flav. He loves women. We knew that. We knew that.
Flavor
What's the show? Flavor of Love. Yeah.
I literally will always remember that chain with the big clock.
Big clock.
Okay, but a couple other moments that I do think deserve a little bit of acknowledgement. There was one really special moment with Johnny Gaudreau's family. So Johnny Gaudreau tragically passed away 2 summers ago. And he was like considered Johnny Hockey. That was his nickname. He was like going to make the Olympic team. They brought his jersey out on the ice after they won gold they skated it around the rink. It was really, really sweet. But then the moment that actually did make me cry was they brought Johnny Gaudreau's kids down onto the ice for like a team picture, which I was just like, don't involve children. Like that will make me cry every time. It was so cute. And it was just something about the fact that like, that's what sports is all about, like the uniting of everyone and like how everyone really becomes like almost family on a team and within just like a league itself. And sure, like you can be going to battle against these guys next week when you're back playing the NHL regular games. But like just it's so sweet that it really is like the one thing that can unite everyone.
Yeah, and just seeing like his kids' little innocent faces, like they barely knew what was going on. They participated in that photo though. They did give us good smiles, which is really hard to do with toddlers. Yeah, the moment that got me was seeing them, just like show his like skate around the rink with his jersey because I was just like, that's supposed to be somebody there,
I know.
Like he's supposed to just be in that line skating around with them. So it was really touching, and I'm glad they honored him and his brother in that way.
Yeah, me too. That was really, really sweet. And the other moment that I think deserves recognition is, respectfully, what the hell were those stuffed animals that they were getting? Because
Tina, hello.
Sorry, of course, Tina, our good friend. I'm just like, don't give them to the silver place. Like, don't give them silver medals and then give the stuffed animal. I'm like
at least not publicly. Like, put that in the goodie basket at the end. You know what I mean? Like.
The worst part was like they got the medal and then like they went through the whole line of like announcing everyone's name, getting the medal, and then they went back and like started at the beginning with the stuffed animals and like made it a thing to like get. And I'm like, I love that everyone's getting a labubu, but like we can't. These guys are pissed. Like we can't be.
They're
doing this.
So mad. I'm really surprised. It almost feels like a punishment to have to accept a stuffed animal as part of your prize when you win silver. Like save it for the people who get, below bronze. I think like that would be a more appropriate use of resources.
A fourth place stuffed animal, sure,
yeah,
but not after they just lost.
That was like salt in the wound. That was really
was pissed too. Yes.
Sorry, Canada.
Okay, and then final thing before we transition to our next Olympic event recap. I literally got so gaslit by Scott about this because he was like, okay, like I don't think it's that crazy. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. So one of the last people to be cut from the Miracle team, like the 1980 Olympic roster, was a guy named Jack Hughes. Okay. First of all, I don't think Hughes is like a very typical last name. I know it's like not the most uncommon, but it's not common. It's not like Sullivan or Smith or something like that. So Scott was like, I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy. That guy was one of the last to be cut. He played for the the Colorado Rockies. Colorado Rockies moved in 1982 to where, Blake? New Jersey, and they became the New Jersey Devils. So I'm just saying, I think Jack Hughes is like reincarnated. Yeah. And
I wonder if that old Jack Hughes is still alive though. From my research, I think he was born in 1957, so he could very much still be alive. We need the Jack Hughes to meet.
Unless he's reincarnated.
Right, unless he already died, which would be sad.
I'm telling you, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
No, that was crazy.
I got so gaslit by Scott. He was like, it's not that crazy. I was like, hello?
Well, men don't get excited over anything, let me tell you. So, pipe down.
And clearly not even reincarnation, so.
Onto a different sort of skating and other stories. The Blade Angels didn't all leave with medals last week, which was upsetting. So Amber Glenn finished 5th. Isabel Levito finished 12th. Also, I said her name wrong last week. I kept saying DeVito, like Danny DeVito, which was really weird of me. I'm so sorry. I know I've been having trouble with names. But Alyssa Liu managed to win gold in women's figure skating. And second and third were Japanese skaters Kaori Sakamoto and Ami Nakai, leaving us with the image of an all-Asian podium reminiscent of the 2024 podium with Simone Biles, Jordan Childs, and Rebecca Andrade. Oh my God. That gave me chills, you know?
Yeah.
And also,
how did you feel just seeing the podium?
Oh, it was so sweet. Are you kidding? And also just after I know like I'm not alone in this, but I really am so obsessed with Alyssa, like and her story. And I think that a lot of other athletes have so much to learn from her and her journey of coming back and taking that pause. And I just will never get over that she stopped skating for literally 4 years, 3 years.
Insane
and
to
came
just
back.
Like cold turkey and then come back and be like, gold medal time.
And then won a gold. And you could tell through her performance. I also am like, I want to see her dance. Like, because skating and dance, obviously there's so many similarities because her performance was so captivating and authentic and just like, she really just let it all out there.
Like you could feel she was just having fun, which I think was the best part because it was just like enjoyable to watch and you could feel like she was comfortable, she was at ease. And then when she ended and she went into the camera and they had to bleep her because she was like, let's effing go. Or that's what I'm effing talking about.
Me too, Alyssa.
And I was like, yeah, that's like just genuine. Like I just nailed that. And yeah.
I'm getting chills like thinking about it again. And I was literally tearing up watching her on the podium. And she said that like her coaches were telling her like, it's okay, like no matter what. And she's like, oh, I know, like that performance means more than any score. Like she really truly understands that the medals don't even matter. And I think that is a takeaway for me with this Olympics. Not that I'm an athlete, but I just feel like, I don't know. I don't really think the medals are really mattering that much. And people were just so captivated about stories this time around. I mean, always, but especially this time.
Yeah. I feel like that's like what really gets people with the Olympics is always the story aspect of it. But even like Eileen Gu saying the whole thing about like, oh, well, of course, she's like 22 and she was like dropping knowledge bombs. I was like, whoa. She was like, well, you know, with the neuroplasticity in my brain, I can literally change the way I think and I can kind of like become who I want to be. And I was like,
I know. She has neuroplasticity on her side because she's 22. Yeah. We, I think, have passed that time, unfortunately. Chopped off. 100%. Yeah.
But okay, so you mentioned that Amber didn't medal, but even though she didn't medal, so there was this thing called like, was it the gala that's like after the competition?
Exhibition gala, yeah.
Exhibition gala. So then you can kind of just like skate freely kind of without being graded or I guess having to actually like compete for a medal. She was like practicing before it and she's filming herself like selfie camera being like, let's go, come with me to try to do this jump that cost me an Olympic medal. And she's skating. She like all of a sudden you like can't really see because obviously she's twisting in the air. Lands and then it's like, yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. I'm fine. And I was like, that is so mean. Like I'd be so annoyed.
Dude, I know. And it's just because, again, that pressure. But it's obvious that she can still do it. So I hope that she's not being too hard on herself. But also, like, we love a self-aware queen. Like,
I know. Also, like, to post that video, I'm just like, yeah, you have to be, like, a little bit understanding of, like, okay, it's not the end of the world, but this is annoying.
Right. This is so annoying. She also apparently competed on her period, which when it was shared, like, people were totally reacting normally about it on the internet, like not being sexist at all. But she did say, I'm on my period right now. So it's always really hard, especially when you have to perform in front of the whole world. It's scary and it makes you extra emotional and it's hard and you have to go be an athlete. And I love that she's just talking about it because I think we need to talk about it more. Like it's still like a mystery to me, like how athletes really feel about it. And I think it's because, you know, periods have been used against women to talk about like how they're able to show up. And it's not necessarily in every case where it like affects people negatively. It could affect you positively, but like I just want to know more about, you know, how athletes actually do it.
Totally. But then it's also like, and obviously it affects people totally differently on like the symptoms and whatnot. But I feel like we've just been hearing more and more and more about also not for nothing, like how dangerous it is because of all the ACLs tears that have happened when like female soccer players are on their periods. And it's crazy to me that like, that is something that is also then just like factored into everything else where it's like, okay, cool. Now, not that like, I think they would be thinking about it, but it's just like, it is there in the back of your mind no matter what.
Yeah. And it's something that only women have to think about.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God. Also, Rachel, our producer, is writing in the chat right now. Could you imagine having your period in a tiny dress with the whole world watching?
Okay,
No.
that was the other thing that I was thinking of, because I'm like, every time I saw one of them like freaking spinning like a spin top in the middle, like in air, I was just like, respectfully, I don't think my butt would fit in one of those uniforms. And I just don't know how everything is staying put and like it looks graceful and and how they're comfortable. And like the same thing when I watch gymnastics, I'm like, I would be paranoid that things would be moving. And then you add having your period in a tiny little dress. No, thanks. No, I'm good.
I know. I'm still an advocate for the menstrual disc. I know you hate to hear about it, but that shit keeps it all in. That's all I got to say.
It's going to be enough for me, dog. Okay. As we mentioned earlier, though, Olympics are not over. There's just like a 2-week gap in between Olympics and the Paralympics starting, and they will be starting March 6th, and we will definitely be tuning in.
We are reviving an oldish segment called Make It Make Sense to talk about money moves that are happening in sports. So this week we learned that in 2025, the WNBA earned enough revenue to trigger its revenue share with players. And we learned this through the Players Union, which says it was notified earlier this month.
Interesting timing because of all of the CBA negotiations that are happening right now, but we don't know exactly how much the league made or the number needed to trigger the revenue share. But we know that the WNBA will distribute $8 million to each of the 13 WNBA teams, which will then distribute to the players. And the Players Union will also divide an additional $9.25 million to league players from revenue made through licensing sales on things like jerseys, trading cards, video games, and more.
I know. I am really curious how this will affect CBA negotiations, if at all. We'll see.
Because they're asking, right, like this latest proposal is asking for like 27.5% of the total gross. So it's just like, yeah, I mein, pay them what you owe them, but also like if they're bringing in all this money, they deserve a bigger slice.
Then you should really pay them what you owe them.
It almost makes too much sense.
Yeah. We're going to keep track of the story because also I think the deadline for the CBA negotiations, I mean, I use deadline in air quotes, but I do think.
Don't give me that.
I know. I think there is a new deadline on the horizon. I think it was March 10th. So we will check back in on this with you guys.
Deadline.
And a quick in case you missed it, ESPN announced a big change to their Sunday lineup. So for the first time ever, you will get to watch women's sports take center stage in the network's programming on Sundays. So every Sunday night for 9 weeks, you can tune in and watch your favorite WNBA and NWSL teams go head to head. I'm personally very excited about this as somebody who cannot keep track of how to freaking watch sports all the time. So I'm glad that like every Sunday I just know, okay, ESPN, WNBA, NWSL, got it. I don't even think about it.
It just feels like there's so many different streaming services and so many different like, oh, Thursday night football's on Amazon, but Monday night football's on ESPN. And like you have to, obviously I know that schedule a little too well, but like now just being like, oh, okay, Sundays are for the girls.
The girls keep it simple. We keep it simple and we keep it efficient. And that's all. Yeah. That's what the takeaway.
And no shade to Sunday night baseball because that's what it will be replacing. But I do fear that there might be a little bit more viewership. Because again, I'm not about baseball. Baseball is a sport that you have to attend in person. I'm very passionate about that.
I like that take.
Thank you. And the second, in case you missed it, really quickly, is the NFL Combine is happening all week long in Indianapolis. And so we will be able to recap that and kind of the results of the Combine on next week's episode.
And up next, we are so excited to finally introduce Brenda Song. And people might be wondering, why are they having an actor on the show? Well, guess what? Stars, they're just like us. And they also happen to really like sports. And so that's why she's going to come on the show. She's here to talk about her sports fandoms, her new movie, and just to queen out with us. So without further ado, welcome Brenda Song to Well Played. We're so excited to have Brenda Song on the podcast, guys. This has been my idol since I was a child as a little Asian American girly pop growing up in the mid-2000s. Come on.
Wait, you're breaking this news to me now?
I know. I'm sorry. I had to save the big reveal.
/ I'm so sorry.
Nothing to be sorry about. I grew up watching you on Disney Channel, as did Caroline. We're so excited to have you here to talk about your sports fandom and also a new movie you have coming out. So let's just get right into it. I want to talk about how you prepare for roles because I don't know if people know this about acting, but it is actually very physical. It's not just up here. It also involves this. And especially for you because you are such a comedian. And so, you know, with Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior, my personal favorite as a child.
You're too kind.
I know. I know
classic.
that a classic, absolutely. You did have to do a little kung fu.
Yes.
And also for Operation Taco Gary's, which is the movie you're here to talk about, it is pure comedy. And I know that a lot of it is physical humor. And again, like I just feel like people don't understand that takes a lot. So I'm like, what is, just thinking like an athlete, what is like your practice routine when you have to get into a role like this where it's all physical comedy?
To me, it's why this person is one of my favorite athletes of all time. I have like two, Kobe Bryant and Aaron Donald. And it's because their work ethic is so intense. And I feel like, you know, that thing, it's like, you know, you never have to get ready if you're always ready. That's kind of how I look at it, because to me, it's the physical aspect is more about having stamina, because what people don't realize is that we are filming 12 to 15 hours a day and doing these takes, you know, tens sometimes. Like we were doing a lot of takes, and some of this stuff, even when we're like, you know, in Operation Taco Gary's, when we have this like sort of fake fight where we're grabbing stuff from one another, we did that like 50 times, and we were all like, I'm tired and I'm sore after this. Like, it's like we're using muscles that I'm like, oh, I did not have, I had a muscle there. I mean, mind you, I'm not an athlete by any like means, and I am not training like Aaron Donald. But I will say that as I've gotten older, I've had to really be mindful of being in shape, just because, so I don't get injured. Because sometimes something it takes so small. I'm doing a project now where I have more stunts than I thought I did, and I was like, oh, I was not prepared. I regret we're canceling that Pilates session now. But honestly, and for me, working out also is such a stress reliever for me. So I have to incorporate it into my work routine simply because it really helps me alleviate my work and, you know, home and environmental stress. So I love a good workout, and I am someone that was willing to try everything.
I feel like what you were just saying about like, oh, I'm feeling sore with muscles I didn't even know I had. That is like literally my definition of going to a Pilates class. So like, I get it.
Believe me, I understand, because even I always say, like, you know, what I love about working out is that there's never a ceiling. Like you're always going to find a new like variation of, you know, a move or a type of exercise that'll still keep you sore, that'll still make you tired. And that's, I think it's like, am I a masochist that I love like torturing myself every day?
Which I was going to say, I do love that about working out, but I also hate it because it's like, oh my God, you mean that I have to like work even harder?
Yes.
Like that's how I feel about this.
And to me, it's like very mental as well. There's something about it. It's like when I'm like, you know, doing my cardio or I'm doing something, it's like, I was like, my brain, I was like, no, I'm not going to stop unless like my body's physically like, I can't do it anymore. I was like, mind over matter. And I'm like the crazy friend that's working. I was like, I can do 2 more reps, I swear. And it's just, you know, it's where I get that craziness out of me, I guess.
See, you are an athlete. That's an athlete mindset right there. I'm telling you, you're an athlete.
I mean, honestly, I would love to be the defensive tackle for the Rams. Like, I'll be perfectly honest. If I could be...
We'll pitch
we will
that.
Let them know.
I don't
believe me,
know how-
I pitched it. I pitched it many times. I'm like, guys.
And I'm sure it went over really well. I'm sure they were very receptive.
I was like, I can do special teams.
Yeah, totally. Well, okay, so speaking of sports, just in general, we've seen from like your show with Kate Hudson, Running Point, and Heated Rivalry, there's characters that are typically not in the spotlight. Like for Heated Rivalry, it's 2 gay hockey players. With Running Point, it's 2 women. Why do you think women are resonating with these kinds of shows in particular? Do you think?
Well, because I feel like for so long, it was like, it's, you know, if you like sports as a woman, they're like, oh, it was like this like jarring, shocking thing. And it's like walking in and seeing a man wear lipstick or something. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just sports. And I just love the fact that, you know, because in most of these sports, they're so male dominated, even if there's a female league, it's such a male dominated sport, and it has been for so many years, that I think that's just sort of the ideals of the sport. And it makes me so happy that we're able to translate and introduce sports in a very palatable way. Because I always say, like, I grew up a basketball fan. And I watched basketball my entire life. My dad and my brothers were Michael Jordan fans. And so I grew up, I loved Dennis Rodman. And then in 96, when Kobe was drafted to the Hornets, but then traded for Vlade Divac, I became like a Lakers fan. I was like a hardcore Lakers fan. And I watched 82 games a year. They used, on Sweet Life, they used to have to like put a monitor underneath the stages. I was listening to because back then you had to listen to the radio. So I was listening to the radio, 82 games a year. That was me. And then when Kobe retired in 2016, I was so devastated. I couldn't watch basketball anymore. I just couldn't, I couldn't find my love for it. And I mean, I watched all of Kobe's career, the ugly years, the crazy Smush Parker year, all those years. I've been a hardcore Lakers fan. And so for like 2016, 2017, I kind of like did a no sports because I was so heartbroken. And one morning, it's one of the things I love about my partner is that he has such a love for sports and people would never expect it because he's like, you would never think he loves sports so much. And Sunday morning, I came into my living room in my condo here in LA, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm watching football." And it was the Rams versus Seattle, and I was like, "Oh, what's football?" Like jokingly, and he kind of walked me through it, and I was like, this is a game of inches. What? Like this, wait, there are how many rules? Wait, what? And I was like, this is what I love. Cause I am, when you watch sports with me, the thing about it is like every play matters to me. And it's why I actually struggle with this modern basketball because I love a set offense. I love a set defense. Mm-hmm. I love it when we truly have like positional players. You can't slide, the 3 and the 4. Like you have this, I need a set offense and defense. I grew up in the triangle area. So I love that. And it was so hard for me to kind of transition to this modern ball where it feels like it's so messy. Like, it's okay to have like 20 missed shots. I'm like, how dare you? Your percentage, And so for me, football was that. Football was like truly every down, every play mattered. And I feel so spoiled. The year that I started watching, the Rams went to the Super Bowl. So I got to see truly an entire season. And then that's what spurred my love for football. And so with that in mind, I'm like, a lot of people just don't understand the nuances of sport or haven't had the opportunity. Because I think for me growing up, like it was always like on Super Bowl Sundays, no one sat there and explained the game to me. It was just like, oh, I'll wait to watch like, Lady Gaga at halftime. Right. Which is amazing, obviously. And so for me to seeing like these shows in like mainstream media, like Running Point, like Heated Rivalry, like I know Will Ferrell also has a show coming out about golf. It just, I think opens up more people's curiosity to sports, which is really fun because what I think a lot of people didn't even realize about Running Point is that Kate and my character and like the show is based off of Linda Rambis's story. And I mean, not Linda Rambis, Jeannie Buss's story. And like me being able to play Linda Rambis was like so crazy because her son actually Jordan took a picture of us at the cast dinner of us with our black jackets, our hair in the back and our hands up in the air. We're both the same height. And he's like, you are my mom. He calls me his TV mom. And it is like if I could tell younger Brenda that I would be chatting with Jeannie Buss and Linda Rambis and sitting at like Laker games casually, she would literally like melt and die right now. And so I truly feel like I'm living my best life.
Oh, I love that.
You so are. I knew you were a basketball fan, but 82 games a year?
Oh, yeah.
God damn.
You don't understand. Like I had to go back and listen to, I think it was a AM 720. Is that what it was? Back in the day when it was like Stu Lance and Chuck, like that's all that's what we would like listen to in the car because I was obsessed. And it made me sad because then, football season is so short that it took me a second to like wrap my head around this sport really only lasts like 4 or 5 months.
I'm experiencing that as a new sports fan as well. I'm still looking for my fandom. So if you ever want to pitch me on the Rams, I'm
where are you
my
from?
ears are open. I'm from Jersey, and my dad is a Jets fan. So
I'm so sorry. Poor guy.
It's never been that fun. But I feel an allegiance, but I'm open. I'm more of like a people,
I always say like, I'm very spoiled being in LA because I understand like people always like, well, LA has no real team. And I was like, well, because LA is a place where so many people from everywhere else come to get somewhere else. Because people always like talk shit about when you go to Rams game, you have more. I was like, yeah, because no one is from LA. And of course, and most of these transplants are like new transplants. I was like, at like 30 years old, moving from like Texas, are you really going to root for the Rams even though you've lived your entire life as a Cowboys fan? I was like, so how dare you? Because all of my family is strong, okay? And I will die on that train. And so it's hard. I will say it is hard in LA because unless you grew up here, you come with your own team. And so I get it. And there's no judgment because I always say like, love who you love. Like I loved my teams through really hard years. When people are like, well, why aren't you blah, blah, blah fans? I'm like, because I love my team. That's the whole point. And it's what I love about like old school, like legacy players. Like I miss legacy players who get drafted or start with the team and like retire with that team. Though I will not complain about Luka being on the Lakers, because I watched him get drafted, get traded for Trae Young, and being like, oh my God, he's so amazing. And then him being a Laker is really iconic. So I can't complain.
That is one we'll take. Okay. Did you watch any of the Olympics by chance?
I haven't been able to because I've been filming, and the crazy time difference has been so hard. So I've only been watching clips. Like, I love ice skating, so I've been like watching, but I haven't gotten to watch the full program. So I'm really bummed about it.
And then, you know what? That's okay. Honestly, a lot of people consume it on social media. I did want to ask, do you have a message of support that you want to send to the Asian American baddies who absolutely dominated the games? Eileen Gu, Chloe Kim, Alyssa Liu. I just want to give you the floor to...
For me, there's nothing more inspiring than seeing young women do what they do at the highest level possible and being successful at it. It is so inspiring because it's like, for all the little girls and little boys out there who have these big dreams, who feel like they're unachievable, to watch them happen and be achieved in real time is so inspiring. And to see representation while that's happening is even more inspiring, because I feel like for me growing up, that was like Krista Yamaguchi. I remember watching her win, and that was like way young. And it is so, I'm so happy because I have like 2 young nieces, and for them to be able to look up to these young women, truly the best at what they do. And because it's so hard, I feel like in this society to be so hard on yourself because of social media, because I feel like everything is micromanaged, because everyone is so afraid to be critiqued, because everything is recorded. Everything is like, you know, at every turn, everything, there's more exposure. There's just more people doing everything because of social, everything's amplified. And to see these young women just be so, I mean, it's crazy how talented these women are. I'm like, and how old are you? I was like, I feel so unaccomplished. It's making me like second guess my life. But no, it's honestly so inspiring. I'm like, just keep doing you. It's like the same way, like watching like Suni Lee, who's also a fellow Hmong American, was like, it made me so emotional just seeing all of these young Asian American women, or just Asian women, just soar. It's like, I was like, take us with you. Let us fly with you, babies. Like, I'm so happy that they have their moment though. It's been, again, the word I can just use is just inspiring. And it's just so, it's like so incredible to see. And I just want to keep seeing it. Give us more.
More, please. Thank you.
Yeah, truly. They've been fantastic. And it was just like so fun to watch. I'm like kind of in my post-Olympics depression and like eagerly awaiting for the
A hangover, some may say.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to go quickly to a lightning round of questions. Great. So of your past roles, first thing that comes to mind, of your past roles, who would be the best wide receiver, the best quarterback, and the best coach?
Okay, the best coach would be Madison Maxwell from Dollface, because she's like a crazy type A over planner. The best quarterback would be Allie Lee from Running Point, because she'll get it done. She would get it done. And the best receiver would probably be Allison from Taco Gary's, because she's so chill. And like under pressure, like she would be willing, and she's probably the most like athletic character. Oh no, well, you know, maybe Wendy Wu would be a better receiver. Because the crazy shit that she would do. Okay. Did we not see her on top of the? Yes, I go back.
Listen, of course I saw.
Would be the best wide receiver.
honestly, both of them, perfect.
We'll draft both. We'll draft both. Okay, so the NFL draft is coming up.
Yes.
Aside from yourself, what position are you hoping for in the Rams draft?
We need our secondary. I really like Caleb Downs. I know that he might go too early in the draft, but I really like him. I know people keep talking about maybe drafting like a younger quarterback to sit behind Stafford, but we need help in our secondary. Last year for me, it was the run, and Poona Ford killed it this year. He and Braden Fisk really just shut down the middle. And Nate Landman, I was worried about our middle linebacking core, but Spates and Landman did a really good job last year. I'm more worried about our secondary, and we have a couple secondary guys that are free agents, and that's always so hard, because it's like, I always say like in Sean and Snead, and I believe, but we need a corner, because I know that like in knowing like McVay, he's gonna like want to draft I know he wants like a tight end in like free agency, like he's gonna go for like Kyle Pitts or something. He wants a tight end because we love a receiving tight end. But I want a cornerback. I like Caleb Downs.
I think if this whole acting thing doesn't work out for you, you have a future as a Rams coach. And I just want that known.
Honestly, I always say, like, I'm so biased. I love the Rams, and all of my other sports news is just like, I can tell you why your team sucks and will lose to the Rams. I can tell you that.
That's a special talent. I like that. It's a fun fact.
Thank you. But yes, those are my goals. I'm like, please, if I just say it out loud enough, we need to draft some more young secondary. We need to re-sign Cam Curl. He's one of our guys that's going to free agency, and I think he did a really great job. So I'm like, secondary help, and maybe a tight end.
Just let it be known, Brenda knows ball.
Yeah. You heard it here first on Well Played.
It's my obsession. It really is. It's like really unhealthy. Like my kids, my two boys, the only like call, like response and call or whatever they know is I'll go, whose house? And they go, Rams house.
Aww.
And like once like they were trying to rehearse for something and Mac was like, okay, what do we say? And my youngest was like, Rams house. Yeah. They understand.
That is so adorable. They understand ball too. And we are so grateful for you to have joined us on Well Played today. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, guys.
And good luck with the draft.
Thank you. We need it.
Alrighty, now it is time for Send It, our favorite social moments of the week. I'm going to kick it off. This was, honestly, a lot of them are Olympic Send It, so unfortunately, we are continuing the Olympics. But it's
we're
not
gonna
like true. You'll understand, like once we start explaining. But it's Send It. So we're going to start with the Irvine Police Department because I really do crack up when I'm like, why do you guys have this much time on your hands? Because like, shouldn't you be like, I don't know, busy? One may ask. But they were doing this like PSA for drunk driving, but with curling. So like 2 cops were pretending to curl and another one is giving like the hard command, and the puck is a pair of handcuffs that actually were moving like fairly smooth. I was like very impressed by the whole
production
operation.
was high quality.
The cop says like, these are not the kind of medals you want to win, drive sober or get pulled over. And honestly, like that PSA has been a little not like off the grid for a minute, and I want to bring that back because it's it rhymes, it works. I'm here for it.
I know. And I've missed a good old-fashioned PSA. I want to bring those back.
Yeah. I like forget the one. Remember like Dare? I like remember all of those. And it was like all
when it's like, this is your brain on drugs, and they like fry an egg in the pan. And it just like made me want to eat. Like it didn't make me want to.
I was like, I'm going to die if I ever do drugs. Like,
I wanted the fried egg so bad. Okay. I can make one easily myself now. Anyway, we're going to have to talk about this poor girl whose name is also Alyssa Liu, who will not stop getting follow requests to the point where she had to put in her bio, I'm not the figure skater. Please stop requesting me. At Alyssa X Liu is who you're looking for. TBH, though, because I personally am so thirsty, I would have accepted the follow request.
You would have gone public. You would have gone public.
I would have gone public. They would have all flooded. I would have had so many new followers. The show would take off. Like, you know what I mean? But my name is not Alyssa Liu, so I'm sorry.
You could have given that to us, Blake, and look at that.
Nobody is named Blake Lou Merwin in the world except for me. So, I'm sorry, Blake Morgan. So like, that's not going to happen to us. I'm sorry, Caroline.
Until someone goes famous with your name, and then we'll capitalize off it.
Also, I need to mention the Bratz doll that I don't know if they actually are making it, but it's a Bratz doll. The Bratz account posted a photo of an Alyssa Liu Bratz doll, and I need it. Like, I'm not a collector by any means, but it looks so cute, and I forgot how much I loved Bratz dolls as a kid. I don't know if you were a Bratz person. Were you Bratz Barbie, Polly Pocket? Like,
I was definitely Polly Pocket.
Were you eating the pieces too?
For sure, chewing on them. For sure. Here's the thing: there's no original thought in anyone's childhood. That's what we've all learned. But I think there was like a Bratz game that I played, like a computer game. But now I'm forgetting like what it was about. But that and like the Barbie computer games, where I was big on those.
Oh yes! Oh my god!
But no, that would be cute. I like when they make dolls like out of like these Olympians, and I'm just like, where's my?
But the Bratz doll in particular, she's so like.
She's sassy.
She's sassy
it's
with those big lips.
It's
exactly.
Alyssa. I like it. So next up we have Lindsey Vonn, who super casually just shared that she's finally back home and she's out of the hospital for like the first time in 2 weeks. that she could have lost her leg. Like the doctor that operated on her leg saved her from having to amputate her leg. As she said, when you have so much trauma to one area of your body, there's too much blood and it gets stuck and it basically crushes everything. So her doctor is an orthopedic surgeon and the team physician for US Snowboarding. He was in Milan because she was competing, obviously, with her torn ACL. But she credits him for saving her leg. And so many people flooded the comments because she recorded a video on Instagram to talk about it. But Cristiano Ronaldo was like, up in the comments too, and he was even saying champions are defined by the moments they win and the moments they refuse to give up. Lindsey Vonn, the mountains you conquered were never bigger than the strength you carry. Keep fighting, legends always rise. And I was like, okay, I loved that.
I'm like, did he write that? Did he write that?
You kind of dropped a bars.
I was gonna say, like, he sounds like a poet there.
Yeah, and
kind
I'm
of
very here for it.
Yeah. Also, because I watched so much of The Pit, like recently, I felt like when she was talking about her compartment syndrome, that's what it's called, when the blood is too much trauma to one area of her body. I felt like I knew what she was talking about. Like she was talking about her complex tibia fracture, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to order a CT scan on that one. I don't even know what a CT scan is, but I'm just like, I have so much doctor terminology in my head right now. Anyway,
The Pit has really made the Grey's Anatomy turnaround.
Yes.
So it was like, I feel like everyone felt like they were a doctor when they watched Grey's Anatomy, and now like
I sure did.
Okay, you guys stop. Now we're going to pick up where you left off and we'll continue.
And it's better because Grey's Anatomy made me feel crazy. I was in 11th grade. I thought I was going to be at a hospital one day and there was going to be a shooting. And also I was going to I'm not even going to say what I was going to do because that show was just
Shonda had a lot of the
She had so many ideas and she still does because that show is still running. Anyway, the final Senate of the week is, speaking of men who write poetry, it's me realizing that Myles Garrett and I have more things in common than one. First, we both love Chloe Kim. And second, we're both poets. Obviously, I'm a haiku writer, but he is, I think, probably delving into sonnets more, perhaps limericks. So he wrote Chloe Kim a poem, and he actually read some of it on the Sports Illustrated interview he did. And I wanted to read it to you because it's really cute. And this is how I feel about you. Okay. You enrapture fools to kings and exist without a peer. Put on this earth for many things, but our love is why you're here.
That's good.
And she said she cried the first time she read it. Oh my God.
I don't know what I would do if, I was going to say, if Scott wrote a poem for me. Actually, if any other man wrote a poem for me, I'd probably get a restraining order. But I just feel like I don't know what I'd do. I feel like I'd be so overwhelmed that I probably too would cry. I would
cry.
Crazy.
Also, he's massive. Oh my God, his arms, the video.
No, but that's how we know that is a man in love.
I know.
This strong defensive player of the year, scary, big, burly man is becoming a photographer and writing poems all for the girl he loves and buying her a Ford Bronco. And I'm like, as she
That's
should.
pink. Oh my God, it's so cute. I want it so bad. It's a 1976. I watched her Today Show interview. I know. Last thing I will say is that I've thought about the fact that Kyosuke's never wrote a song about me.
Start a fight.
Yeah,
Start a fight.
I think that's just kind of crazy of him. But at the same time, I would definitely get embarrassed if he ever played it, and I would be in the corner, blushing, like how I have fake blush on right now. So I don't know. I'll let you know if that changes, though.
I like the idea of someone writing a song or a poem about me, but then I think in real life I'd get really shy and awkward.
No, same.
About it. Yeah.
Same.
Can you get in a fake fight with him about it and then text me what he says?
Absolutely. I will.
And if it's a good fight, we'll share it next week.
If it's like, oh shit, I just moved into this apartment, but I'm actually moving out now. Because that fight that you instigated.
See, this is me just stirring the pot. Okay, well, I think that's all for this episode, this week's episode of Well Played. And next week, we'll be sure to recap more of my Olympic depression. But at least we have the combine. There will be something to talk about. And March Madness is coming up. So that will also be on our radars.
Things are cooking. We're going to exit Olympic world to enter basketball and other sports world.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find me talking about golf again. I don't know.
Oh my God, I hope so. Yeah, no, you will because the Masters.
Last year was Rory. Who's it going to be this year? See, I remember.
Yes. Yeah, I'm so proud of you. Okay, anyways, thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode of Well Played.
The only podcast in a league of its own.
Okay, love you, bye.